Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to the new era of leadership. And guys, this is the space where we explore heart-led leadership, identity expansion, and what it truly means to lead yourself before you lead others. So today's episode, guys, get ready. It is powerful. We're talking about intuition and inner authority, trusting your internal guidance, acting before proof, and leading without external validation. Where you're waiting to see if you did it right by somebody else. In a world that constantly asks us for evidence and approval, credentials, and confirmation, what does it mean to move because you know? Not because someone clapped, not because it was guaranteed, and not because it was safe, but because something inside you said, this is yours to do. So, guys, heart led leaders don't wait for permission, they cultivate inner authority.
Absolutely.
Heart led leaders, guys, because heart led leaders, they know what to do next. So, today we're going to explore how to trust that internal voice, how to act before there's proof, and how to lead without needing approval. So let's step into it. And Amir, your thoughts.
Oh, wow, Carl. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a great start. I'm very excited about this powerful talk today, the intuition and the inner authority, we call it. So this is a great topic, and very excited, and also very excited and honored to have Kenneth today as a guest.
Yes.
He will come here in a few minutes.
Yes.
It's a great opportunity for us to speak to him today, and this is amazing. So, welcome everyone, and this is going to be a powerful conversation about intuition and how we will trust our intuition moving forward as bold leaders.
Beautiful. Okay, so I want to just take a moment and introduce my guest. Uh, Kenneth, wow, what can I say about him? I've got to tell you, first of all, he just graduated from the YEA Global Program that was in November, and we graduated in February 12th. And he was outstanding. He was a leader. He rose to the top. And not surprisingly so. He directs a school, guys, middle school and a high school. And I have the opportunity to work with 55 of his students inside the youth empowerment program. Um, yeah, this guy is a heart-led leader. This guy is raising other leaders to be heart-led leaders. And this is why he had to be our guest today. He just had to be. So, Kenneth, come say hi to everyone and just say a little bit about yourself, and then we'll move forward.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much. Do I say evening or good morning? Good afternoon. This is Kenneth Suter Kisang. I am the founder and director of Casting High School in Nairobi, Kenya. I am in Africa, guys. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to go global. Before anything else, some of us thought that, no one could from Africa could rise and be heard by the external community. But look at me right now. And thanks to Carol for giving us this platform to really tell what we have internally and how this leadership is bringing us into this global body. After graduating from YEA, like you've heard from Madam Carol, some of us now obtain the courage to face and even talk before a microphone and the camera and speak out to the world. You gave us the meaning to believe in ourselves and to trust in our inner authority that we are leaders in our small way that we thought we are, and we can get recognition globally. When I joined YEA last year in November, I never thought this would be the outcome. I never thought I would get a community that is all welcoming. I never thought that people would listen to me and encourage me and tell me that, Kenneth, you are going to make it. You know, guys, being born and being raised in Africa with a lot of challenges, some of us tend to believe that this is going to be, the end of everything. But believe me, the world was opening for us. And here today, I've been allowed to give an introduction and to really show up that we are ready to continue leading, not by listening to whatever maybe is going to come externally, but believing first from our internal intuition and getting to know that we can make our baby steps that are going to be greater on the outside. So, Carol, again, I am here to engage. I'm here to make my contribution.
Oh, you already are a contribution. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I'm very, very excited also, Kenneth, that you are in our New Era Leaders Path. The course that we're going to be delivering March 5th, you are one of the leaders in it. And I got to tell you, all we have are leaders in that program. They are powerful leaders in that program, and you're right alongside of them. And we're all going to do that journey together. How exciting, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I have a question for Amir. Amir, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Please
All
start.
right. So my first question, Amir, is this. Amir, how do you personally distinguish between fear and intuition?
Oh, Carl, this is very, very good question because most of the time we kind of mix these two together.
Yes.
But I just want to start. Intuition is a muscle. It's a mental faculty. We call it as a muscle. We need to train it as similar as we train, our muscles in our body. So it need to be trained. If it's not trained, it's going to be weak. So sometimes we mix it with fear, with ego, and to distinguish between the fear and intuition. Mostly the intuition is calm and it's kind of whispered. Fear is loud and it's very like you have to act now, do this, why not do this? So it's very, very loud. Intuition usually comes first because it processed by the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is way, way faster than the conscious mind of processing the data. And this is something sometimes we're not realizing, because the subconscious mind has all the programming, all the beliefs, everything in there, and it processes so fast. So this is the intuition comes from there, it comes first. But most of the time, because if we're not trained to use it, we ignore it, and we come to the conscious, mind, and looking at the data, looking at, what we have, and information and the logic, and we ignore it. But this is a very big distinguishing between the two. Fear is loud, and,
Yes.
and intuition is very calm and a calm
Oh,
way.
I love that, Amir. That is so great to be able to distinguish that. So here's
Absolutely.
I have one more part to that question. How can
Absolutely.
leaders strengthen their ability to trust their inner guidance in high pressure situations?
Yeah, so like we just mentioned here, intuition, Carol and Kenneth, because it's like inner voice, we need to be, uh, we need to pause and stay
Hmm.
calm and stay silent a little bit
Hmm.
before reacting, so we can hear it. Otherwise, we cannot hear it with this old loudness. So if there is a
Hmm.
pressure, if there is like high stake of situation, we just need to breathe, calm, and then listen and listen
Hmm.
deeply, and listen to our intuition. This is
Beautiful.
kind of we call it calm authority.
Hmm.
When we lead from that calm authority, we can contain the situation and the pressure.
Absolutely. And for me, one of the things I do inside of YEA is I line it up with inside of fear, guys. Fear is a limited mindset.
Absolutely,
It comes from a limited mindset. So when I
absolutely.
something that is coming to me and it is
Absolutely.
a limited mindset, I know it's based in fear. I know what it is. So it helps me to go, oh, wait a minute. I'm not going to listen to that limited mindset. And just like
Absolutely.
Amir said, it's loud. It's not it's not calm and it's not coming from knowing. It's coming from worried and coming from, oh my God, what am I doing? And not trusting yourself. And so I make sure I understand that it is a limited mindset. I'm able to put a label to it and say, "Oh, that's a limited mindset." And then I have the training to be able to create a thriving mindset that
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
lights me up and kicks me back into action. But one of the biggest things for me also, Amir, is I make sure it's aligned with what I stand for as a leader.
Absolutely.
If it does not align with my heart-led leadership, I know where it's coming from. And it's coming from
Absolutely.
fear. Okay. It's not
Mhm.
coming from my intuition, it's coming from fear. So
Absolutely.
beautiful. Okay. So, Amir, you have a question for me?
Yeah, I have a question for you. How would you define intuition in leadership context?
Okay. Intuition and leadership. Just like Amir said, it's a muscle. It's something you actually have to work. It's not something that's just, oh, like a thought.
Absolutely.
Thoughts come, thoughts go. But this is something that you actually, it's a muscle and you have to work with it. So you have to distinguish that it is your intuition. And guys, we all have them. We all have our intuition. We all have that little thing that kind of raises the hair on the back of your neck when something's coming. We all have that intuition. So work with it. Make sure you can distinguish what it is, but also make
Mhm.
sure that and pretty much you can trust it because it is aligned with what you stand for. It
Absolutely.
really, honestly, your intuition is aligned with what you believe, what you stand for, what you stand for as a leader. It's aligned. So it's
Absolutely.
always for me about alignment. Okay. I'm going to
Absolutely. Yeah.
listen to it when it's aligned with my heart led leadership. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Carol. Because as we mentioned, this need be trained. First, at the beginning, it's very difficult to distinguish or listen. But as we develop it, as we go, we have to start small and small and start like trust our what our intuition tell us. And once we start trusting, then the trust develop, and then we start building this muscle. So we
Absolutely.
start small and then grow until you figure it.
Mm.
I hear this from my mentor Bob Proctor. He gave this analogy, like when you hear when somebody call you, like family member, your father or your mother or your child calling you in the phone, you recognize the voice, right, immediately. You don't go and just analyze the voice. You just this person or your friend calling you. You know the person. You just without asking who is that from the voice. So that's same as as intuition. When you develop intuition, you know it. This is intuition. So
Absolutely. And
this
one
is
of the
kind of how you
things
develop.
around when it's your intuition, you don't go out and ask somebody else, well, what do you think? To get
Absolutely,
validation around it. It's you
absolutely,
don't do that. It's the fear that has you go out. That limited
absolutely,
mindset that will have you go out and ask for validation, ask for somebody
absolutely,
else to help you decide on something. So when you go with your intuition and it's aligned with what you stand for, you're solid.
absolutely. Also, there is another thing. When we pray to God, we ask for prayer, and then the answer, God answer, would be in intuition. So
Oh,
this is the answer.
yeah. And so if you're doing a lot of praying, you're already using that, which is really
Absolutely,
awesome, really great.
absolutely.
Okay, so Amir, I have another question for you. And then Kenneth, we have a couple questions for you. So hold on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So the next question is this, Amir. In a
Yeah.
world that demands data and evidence, how does a leader act boldly before there is external proof?
Oh, wow. This is very powerful question because nowadays everything is
Yes.
data. We're looking for data everywhere, and you get them in the morning, you see everything. You see, okay, this is the data here. You go on the internet,
Mm,
so everything looking at the data. But to me, as we grow up, we we kind of seeking we call it like outsourcing authority.
mhm,
So in school, when we have a reward, it comes from like answers. When we have answer from outside, then we get the reward. In organization, when we got measurable, outcome or proof, then we got the reward from organization. For culture,
mm,
also we seek validation. So all this outsourcing data outside. And by the time we forget about the inside, what's the inner authority, the inner voice, we don't listen. So we kind
yeah,
of kind of program that way that we're looking at the data most of the time. And then when we come to leadership, we kind of doing the same thing. The first thing we're going to look at the data. Where is the data? Show me the data to make a decision. Give me all the information. We seek validation from the teams, from others. Give me validation before I move forward on my decision. And we forget about the inner voice and the inner authority, the intuition, which is a big part of our success if we listen to it.
yeah,
So
we
yeah,
actually end up giving our power away to the
absolutely,
external instead of us having the power when we do that.
absolutely. Absolutely. So to answer your question, Carol, then we need to just pause and think before we make a decision. What's my inner voice telling me? If
Mm,
that's aligned, like what you just mentioned, aligned with my values, without going to the data. The data, okay, give us like okay information and all this, but also we have to consult our inner voice and see if this is correct or not. Most of the time, the inner voice, the intuition is correct. It's right. Sometimes it's against the logic,
yes.
or
Uh,
most of the time against the logic. But
yeah.
and everybody can sense that. Sometimes you make a decision, and the decision you don't feel this is the right decision, but you make it based on the information or somebody telling you to do something, and afterwards, and you find out this is not the right decision. You say, I knew it. You say like that. So
Mm,
so this is intuition. We're not listening to our intuition. So
yeah.
we need to just be calm and listen, and then make it a part of our decision. Like the big part of our decision should be from our intuition, and then we can factor the other factor, the external factors.
Absolutely. So I have another part to that question. And so what
Please.
inner shift has to happen to make that possible? Like to actually, what is the inner shift inside a person to make that possible that they can they do not have to demand evidence and data to make a choice, to move forward, to act boldly as a leader. What's the
Absolutely. Thank you.
that has to happen?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carol. Also, this is
Yeah.
another, very good question. The inner shift, we have to trust ourselves as leaders. And like you just mentioned at the beginning, we need to lead ourselves first before we lead in others. So trust ourselves, trust, what we know, because as a leader you have everything you have it, and trust yourself, trust what information you have, and act from that place. This is the inner shift. And instead of all the time go and ask for advice, ask for validation, ask for this and ask for that. But as a leader, we have as a person, you have everything you need there. You just need to listen to it and make this inner shift, and say, oh, I trust myself, I trust my values, I trust who I am. I have all the information. I'm just going to make the decision, bold decision, and move forward. But that's, I think, to me, this is the inner shift we need to work on.
Absolutely, Amir. One of the things that what builds trust for me is that I know what I stand for. As a heart-led leader, I know what I stand for. And when other things come in, I align it with what I stand for. And that's why it's so important to be clear and have clarity around what you stand for as a heart-led leader, as the new era of leadership.
Absolutely.
Because you can align or you don't align with the things
Absolutely.
that show up for you. And so it gives me the confidence to trust what I am doing and what I am choosing and what direction I'm going in. It gives me that confidence if it doesn't line up with who I am and what I stand for, it doesn't get brought in.
Absolutely.
It doesn't get accepted. And that way I don't have to go out and get external approval of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, this is very, very powerful. The inner shift, when you just lead from inside, I think this is very, very powerful. And most of the time we're talking about the leading from inside out.
Yes, and
So this is
that's
very
what we're
powerful.
going to be doing in our course, is really doing a lot of
Absolutely.
inner work. Yes.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, it's all, guys, inside of what do you stand for inside yourself? What are your values, your core values, the things that you won't budge on, the things you won't settle for less in? Though you're
Absolutely.
going to know so clearly by the time our 10-week program is over who you are, what you stand for, and be unshakable and unmovable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have a quick question for you, Carol, before
Okay.
we move to Kenneth. So, what do
Okay.
you think? We just mentioned it here, but I just want your opinion, or your to add value here. What do you think? Some leaders, they don't trust their intuition. Wow, what factors, or why they are not
Oh,
using their intuition?
okay. Yes. Well, leaders that don't trust their own intuition aren't clear in what they stand for. And I am going to say that very loudly and very clearly. If you aren't clear in what you stand for, you will doubt yourself. You will, you will continually question yourself and go
Absolutely.
after other people's opinions and go after
Absolutely.
other people and what they have to say about it. And then you
Absolutely.
really honestly aren't in charge of your own leadership.
Mm.
So I
Powerful.
absolutely believe that once you are solid in what you stand for as the new era of leadership, as a heart-led leader, you won't doubt yourself any longer. You'll stop fearing. You'll start being courageous, and you'll start
Absolutely.
taking big, big leaps in your leadership.
Wow. Great, great, great answer. Thank you. Yeah, this is very powerful. You have to stand for who you are and what's your values. Those are very and align with all those. So it's very, very powerful.
Absolutely. Okay, so Kenneth, we have a question for
Yes.
you. Hey, we haven't left you out. We have a question for you. So, so Kenneth, inside of your leadership, your personal experience. Can you share a moment when you trusted your intuition before you had proof, and what happened as a result?
Okay, Carol and Amir. Once again, I must say that being that person who can follow his own direction means that number one, I get to be very fast in making decisions. That instead of waiting for another person to give me a second thought, I know the direction that I'm following. 50 years ago, when I thought of opening doors for learners to come to school, I started with only 2 learners,
Wow.
only 2 students.
Mhm.
And I thought of, let me just do and make sure that I'm following my mission and my vision without thinking on what people might say, without maybe considering other people's thoughts on whether I was going to make it at that very young age, but I knew what I was doing. So you can imagine right now we are talking about numbers of around 350 learners from 2 kids, imagine.
Oh, yes.
So
What an
I
amazing.
believe.
Wow,
You're amazing.
it's amazing.
So
You're
I
amazing.
believe in number one, having to make a choice means that I become very quick in terms of decision making. And number two, let me say, believing in myself, that I do not have to maybe depend on someone having to do it first, but I can be the first person so that others can learn from me if need be.
Wow. And Kenneth, your youth, your young people are so amazing. They
That's
participate,
amazing.
they raise their hands. 55 of them we have in class right now.
Wow,
They are amazing
amazing.
young people. I love their brains. They think. They really connect the dots. It was so amazing
Wow.
to have them share what they got out of class today. It was so good. And then
You
Amazing.
should invite Amir one of these fine days to come and say hi to them.
Yeah.
Bring Amir.
It'll be my honor.
we will
It'll be
have
my
to bring
honor.
Amir
Yeah, I
in.
love to.
Yeah,
I
we'll
love
have to
to.
bring Amir in so he can say hi to everyone for
Yeah, I love
sure.
to.
And
Sure.
we'll send you this episode so they can watch you, okay, and watch what we did. Oh
Wow.
my goodness. Okay, so now what a great experience. Okay, so I have another question for you. One more. All right, so Kenneth, what did you have to release internally? The fear, the doubt, the people pleasing, the perfectionism, in order to step into and own your inner authority as a leader, as a school leader. What did you have to release internally? What did you have to manage around yourself internally to stay? You had 2 students to know over 300. What did you have to do internally to manage yourself?
I believe, Carol, there is one thing that I did, and it is still helping me up to date. Number one, I substituted for courage. I replaced the fear that was in me with courage. Say that any challenge that is coming around, I just face it head on without, thinking on what kind of negative result that is going to bring, but always staying positive and saying, okay, challenges are there to come, but I must manage them. I must look for a way in which I can go around them, but not necessarily these life challenges taking me down. I also believe that if they come my way, I want to be the first person to fail, so I don't fear failure.
Hmm.
I don't
Wow.
fear
Wow.
failing.
Wow. That's
Exactly.
Wow. This is powerful.
so amazing, Kenneth. And I really want to share something with you. And that is one of the things I'm very observant. One of the things I really noticed about your students, they're not fearful. They raise their hands. They are engaged. And I believe that's because their leader is somebody that doesn't
Absolutely.
live inside of fear.
Absolutely.
They were very engaged. They raised their hands. We passed the microphone all around to them. They wanted to share, and it was really great because they don't really know me very well, and I've brought in a couple other people they don't know, and I didn't know how they would be with me, but they've been so gracious with me. They've been really engaged, and I do believe it's because of who their leader is. So thank
Absolutely.
you.
This is a,
Exactly.
Thank you.
yeah, this is to call it mirror effect. The
Oh
mirror
my
effect, like, the
God.
team just mirror what the leader is doing. So this is
Absolutely. And
absolutely,
I do believe they are going to be little risk takers. They are going to take things on, even though they don't know what the outcome is going to be or what it looks like. They're gonna run for it because you do.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna shout, we just we acknowledge all your students here. So
Oh yeah.
they'll be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're shouting them out
Thank
right
you.
now.
Yes.
I
Thank
love
you
all
so
the
much.
little minds that I've met so far. It's been really amazing. Absolutely
Yeah, we're
amazing.
looking forward to there become, like, the new generation of leaders. So there'll be
That's
like
right.
some of the million leaders we're gonna raise here.
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
Wow.
We're going to raise, we're out to raise
So
1 million new
this is our
era
mission.
leaders, heart-led leaders out there in the world. And that includes your students. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So great.
Wow.
All right. So, oh my goodness, what an amazing thing.
Amazing.
So Kenneth, one more question for you, and that's
Yes.
this. I want to know, like, um, if there's one of your core values that you could teach your kids, and I know you have major core values. If there's one that you could absolutely give to your youth, your young people, your students, what would it be?
I think number one and without a second thought is discipline,
Mm.
because discipline will bring all the other things that we want in this kind of environment and community to align and converge into our main goal. So discipline is number one thing for them to excel in the academics, for them to get to be uplifted in whatever they're doing. Number one, they have to be disciplined.
Got it.
So discipline is that one thing that I
Mhm,
want to,
mhm,
emphasize every day and tell them this
mhm.
is what you need to carry as your number one target.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, where discipline comes from is inside. We have to discipline ourselves. And it is something that is a muscle also. We have to work it to discipline ourselves to take the things on that we need to take on and be responsible for. So I love that. Thank you. The kids will hear that, okay? Because they're
Absolutely.
probably going to watch this with us, okay? Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. This has been
Wonderful.
another
Absolutely
amazing
amazing.
episode. So
Amazing.
Amir, you have some final words that you'd like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. So for closing and my last
Yeah.
thought here, I just want to say to all leaders and listeners, thank you very much for listening to this episode. Really, we admire you and for this time you gave us here, and we're trying to just provide much values as much as we can here, so can you can get what we're going to share here with you. So thank you very much, and I just want to close most of us, or some of us, sometimes we are waiting for proof, we are waiting for validation from others, from external. But as you know, I just want to tell everybody here, you know more than you think. Um, you have all the information. So moving forward, it's not about getting more information, seeking more information. It's about trusting what you have, trusting your inner authority, trusting your inner voice, and this is very powerful. And I'm just going to close with one quote from Albert Einstein. He said, "The only real value thing is intuition." So
Oh,
trust your intuition, trust your inner voice, and I
nice.
think you will have very, very good success. Thank you.
Wow. So, guys, leadership in the new era, it's not about louder voices, just like Amir said. It's about clearer alignment. When you trust your intuition, you stop outsourcing your power. When you act before proof, you build self-trust. And when you lead without external validation, you become unshakable. Nobody can shake you. The word doesn't need more, the world, guys, doesn't need more reactive leaders. It needs grounded ones. It needs aligned ones. It needs courageous ones like Kenneth spoke about. Your intuition is not random. It is data your mind hasn't processed yet. And the more you trust it, that muscle that you build, the stronger it becomes. You'll hear it way louder. It'll get louder than the fear conversation. And guys, so lead from within, act from alignment, and trust yourself first. That's the new era of leadership, guys. That's the new era of leadership. And it is what we will be teaching so strongly in our course that starts March 5th. Please, if you haven't registered, register, join us, be on that journey with us, okay? We are now have 40 students registered and we're going to cut it off at 55. So don't miss out, okay? And guys, here's the deal. Remember, we are here not to create more followers. We're here to raise leaders. And it's heart-led leaders, the new era of leadership. That is what we are up to. And Amir and I are declaring 1 million,
1 million leaders, 1
by
million
2030.
leaders. Absolutely.
Be one of
Absolutely.
them. Be one of them and go out and multiply yourself. Go out there and start sharing the new era of leadership. It's time to retire the old leadership that isn't working any
100%.
longer
100%.
and raise the new era of leadership. Thank you so much for another amazing episode. Guys, we do these once a week. Please, if you'd like to be a guest, let us know.
No.
Amir and I are out on LinkedIn all over the place. Let us know if you'd like to be a guest on our podcast. And please join us for our course March 5th. Thank you so much. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.